How's it going, folks? How's it going? You already know the waves, and for sure, you already know the vibes. It is King Zachariah White back at it like it's nothing with this drip and the sauce, cause I am the boss. I am back. We are here. Happy good day to every single one of you ladies and gentlemen out there. Alright, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. We hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. And on behalf of the Yellow Empire and all of our kingdoms, businesses, communities, just in general, we're praying a whole lot of good luck, good fortune, blessings, and positivity to and for everybody all the way around. Of course, we're praying it up to and for God, because without God, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and all the heavenly kingdom, we wouldn't even be able to do all of what we're doing. So we owe a lot to them. We owe everything to them. So big ups to God and the heavenly kingdom for all that they do. Of course, we're praying for ourselves, trying to be the best we can and trying to help out everybody, but we also pray the same for every single one of y'all out there as well. All right, now of course, when it comes to the progress, man, y'all make sure that y'all keep that thing going and y'all keep it flowing, baby. All right, but that stuff off to the side, this particular video is going to mark the first ever video that we've made for the Yellow Empire. All right, now we're going to try to get this out on as many different as many of the platforms of the Yellow Empire as possible, but it is likely that as far as YouTube wise, this will go up on the Color Spectrum's YouTube channel, which either way it's perfectly fine. But in this episode, or I guess this video, we're going to also start a series, right? A series that I've been wanting to start for a long time, and it's very, very important, not just to, let's just say, our kingdoms and empires when you're talking about the internal and the external just as a unit, but especially when we're talking about the internal spirit. This is something that's very, very important to us. And this series that I have is called The Heroes of Divinity and Royalty. This series, as well as this entity, the Yellow Empire, is going to be based on character development. Which is very, very important, because there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of things that come up in life. All right, there's a lot of experiences that mold and shape us, and that sort of kind of help propel us to where we are, wherever that point may be in the future tense. And the Yellow Empire is really based on making sure that it's just like all of our empires, making sure that we are the good, the great, the best version of ourselves. All right, and even in the process of us, and when I'm talking about us, I'm talking about myself and all the different versions and iterations of myself. All right, and I guess that leads to the point of there's going to be so many different ways. I, as Zachariah White, of course, I'm the living entity, but there's so many different versions of Zachariah White that have already been brought to life so far. For the ones that have been brought to life, we're going to give a name, a face, a look to them. And for the ones that are, it's up here in my head, up here in my heart, up in my soul, right, in the body, we will bring them to full fruition. But in this particular episode, what we're going to be focusing on is, I'll say, the defining of what it means to be king. Not just within the Yellow Empire, not just within the internal sphere, in all of the internal and all of the external. Right, and much love and big shout outs to I got my notes sitting up here on the back, but much love and big shout outs to ChatGPT, because it definitely helped me better put it into better words what this means. All right, but allow me to go ahead. Whenever it is that we're talking about being a king, right, and of course that there's a couple of different contexts that it's in reference to. As far as internal kingship, all right, we'll start off with that. Embodying the king the that particular role, that particular essence, right? It's all about mastering one's own authority, one's own wisdom, one's own integrity, right? And even in doing this, this involves self-governance, this involves inner order, this involves nurturing growth, this also involves balanced authority too, right? And even just to go a little bit more in depth with that, you know, when we're talking about self-governance, we're talking about being able to take charge of one's own actions, one's own decisions, emotions, and ultimately leading to personal empowerment, but definitely to personal responsibility, right? And even even, you know, to go off, I'm not going to sit up here and there's a lot of things that happen in life. Life is all too vast, all too great, all right? There's so many different things, but let's just say this, guys, we do have a sense of agency, a sense of power within ourselves, and a lot of it comes from ourselves. Perhaps 100% of what we can control is ourselves, all right? So is that self-governance is very, very key. All of these things are very, very key. You know, inner order when it comes to establishing personal principles, values, things of that particular sort that guide our behavior, that foster stability and consistency. All right. We also have the growth nurturing aspect, which is all about encouraging self-improvement, the development of our own potential, and reflecting upon that overall aspect. And then last but not least, we have balanced authority. Balanced authority meaning exercising control over one's own life without becoming tyrannical, without going too far over past the mark, too far over on one side, and also remaining there. That's very, very important, because otherwise, not only does that lead to the deterioration and the decline of the crown, but the kingdoms and the empires that God's blessed us with, us individually, you know, those end up declining. We see it there's so many different countless examples throughout all of society. All right.